Right, battery went flat on the camera, marvellous. My wife bought me one of these little battery power bank things for Christmas. Oh, very expensive, it's £1. That'll do. Right, here we go, let's take these spark plugs out, let's have a look. So I put a bit of oil in here. That's 6 years ago. Oh, you can see it around the bottom of the spark plug, look. And that spark plug, the camera focuses. Hang on, let's bring it over here. Come on, camera. Sod it. It's rather clean, which is a bit worrying. The top of the electrode's a bit got oil on it, so wipe it off a second. So look at the colour. Yeah, I might say that's probably running a bit clean. These are the NGK Iridium spark plugs. Well, when I was 17, and they said, oh, you get an extra 2% or 3% power, and you thought, oh, fantastic. So I think they were about £30 when I bought them. Did they make an improvement? Did they, heck? Nothing. Well, for those people that don't have a 125, the top speed on these is a good 70 mile an hour with nothing in front of you. No headwind, no nothing. And I've been going down the M5 many times. You get up to 80. I think I saw 82 mile an hour, and it hits the engine rev limiter. So 60 is quite happy. Headwind 60, 65. And you see that was quite dark. Look, that's burning rich. It's not bad, but because the thing that I noticed with these, like with many not 125s, with V twins, the manufacturers seem to default to 2 different jet sizes. The back one always seems to be smaller than the front one. I don't know why, and the excuse you get off them is, oh, it's because the rear cylinder doesn't get as much air, so it's run a bit richer. But if you've noticed, that one was actually leaner than that one. But again, the other thing is, it's liquid cooled, so it makes no difference. So with the carburetor rebuilding that I'm going to do, I'm actually going to balance the actual jets out, so they're both the same, because there's no restrictions on the top import there, or the top going inside there. The thing that there is a bit of a difference is on the exhaust. That you can stick your thumb down quite easily. This side, if people have took this off, you know, it's like a bit of 15mm pipe. It's quite narrow, but it's shorter in length. And if anyone knows a bit about exhaust, you try and keep the back pressures the same. We're still down to keeping it legal under that 15 brake horsepower bit. So there's just a few people that said it's capable of a bit more brake horsepower. I reckon it is, probably about 16, 17. You're not going to get much out of it being a 125. I mean, it revs its nuts off as it is. But the carburetors is going to be the most obvious thing. So the jets for this bike are 75 on the front, 70 on the rear, and I always thought it should be the other way around. If you want one cylinder to run lean, run hotter, but the front one, not the back. Never mind. But on the later years, the jets for these are both 78s. Try and work that out. So they must have done something either with the computer or actually something to do with the air intakes of the actual carburetors. Well, perhaps if someone's got one that's a later model than mine, if I just pop the cover off the side of mine, even though mine was registered in 2000, it's still only the X model. It's the first model that came out. They do a VT125C, I think it's Y, and then it goes up 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 6, up to 2006, which I think then they stopped making them. That's only when they stopped making them. I mean, you could have bought them in 2010. but it would have been sitting for a while somewhere. But anyway, I'm going to slowly take the carburetors apart inside. If the battery lasts, you might see the video. If not, happy riding. See you again later.